Do the Titans have a miracle left in them in what has been a magical season to this point? If they do, they need it now. Christie kicks it high and short. Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson.
He's got something.
30,
He's
40,
got something.
50,
He's got it.
40,
He's got it.
20, 10.
He's got it.
End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle.
Music City Miracle. What a play up against the Bills in a playoff game. Zach Gelb and Chase Sr. here with you, taking up until noon Eastern time, where the Temple Sports Hour will come your way. Now joining us on the hotline, former NFL player from 1993 to 2003. He was a three-time Pro Bowler, now a color analyst for Tennessee Titans Radio, as the Eagles and the Titans will square off at Lincoln Financial Field this Sunday, 1 o'clock. So now joining us on the hotline is Frank Wycheck. Frank, Zach, and Chase here in Philly. Thanks for a few minutes. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, thank you for coming on, and we appreciate a few minutes. So let me take you back to that Music City Miracle play. You just heard the call that was broadcasted on the Titans radio network of that play where Kevin Dyson was running down the sidelines and scored as you guys beat the Bills. Take me back through your emotions of that play, because that was really a miracle.
It really was. I mean, it was one of those situations where our backs were up against the wall, and to be honest with you, we prepared for it throughout the season. Jeff Fisher was the guy that covered every base, turned over every rock he could, every situation that could come up in a game. He had us practice, and every Saturday before we went back home or went to the airport, we would do special teams plays and have always finish the practice with that play. Always worked out where it was a swift kick to me, and then we would just run through it. All different things off of that if it didn't work out initially. So at that moment in time, we all kind of knew what we were doing, and we didn't panic. And everything didn't go as planned because Dyson wasn't even practicing that play throughout the year, but coaches coached him up, and we made it happen.
You guys had a lot of really good teams that went on some playoff runs, and Fisher was the coach. The late, great Steve McNair was the quarterback, and you guys also had some legendary plays. And I was talking to Connor Barwin last year down at Radio Row in New York, and we were talking about that tough loss they had to the New Orleans Saints in the playoffs, and he said, you just as a player eventually have to get over the loss, although it is tough. Nothing came bigger in that Super Bowl when you guys were a yard short as Dyson couldn't find a way to get in the end zone. How long did it take you, if it ever did, to get over that Super Bowl loss?
No, it gets worse every year. It really does. It's gut wrenching. At the time, you're in shock, but you thought that our team was going to be back. We were going to be good. We were going to make another few runs. We had an open window there, and we actually had a good run there. We put ourselves in position, but never got back. But every year that I'm out of the game, it stings a little bit more, because when you see other guys, especially those Ravens and the Rams, showing off their rings, it's just one of those things that when you look back on, it's such a that's the ultimate prize. And when you come so close, it bothers you. It really does. It sticks with you, and especially around Super Bowl, around this time, you know what it feels like to make a run and to make a magical run like.
Frank Wycheck joins us right now, WHIP Radio in Philadelphia. This is the main event with Zach Gelb and Chase Sr. And Frank, I drove to and from Los Angeles over the summer, and one of my favorite cities on my journey back was Nashville, and I spent some time on Printer's Alley at Bourbon Street Blues, and also had a great time on Broadway as well. Do you ever find yourself hanging out there?
Back in the day, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I didn't really know much about country music, but it's just a really cool town. A lot of honky tonks down there, but I stay away from all the honky tonks.
Because you're a Philly guy, you don't listen to too much country, do you?
I guess there was a point in time I had a good 5-year run.
Because you're a Philly guy, you don't listen to too much country?
No, I didn't. It's, more like the party or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't, Jersey Shore music and the oldies. So yeah, I had no idea.
Right. Let's get to this game on Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field, Eagles and Titans. It's been somewhat of a rough season for the Tennessee Titans, but ever since Zach Mettenberger was placed under center, this team has been playing well. They played a good game up against the Steelers on Monday Night Football, and I know a lot of people are high on Zach Mettenberger, and when I was doing some draft prep in April, I thought that Zach Mettenberger was one of the better throwers in the NFL draft at the quarterback position, and if it wasn't for his torn ACL, I think he could have been a higher draft pick. What's the feel down there in Tennessee with the job that Zach Mettenberger has done, and how good can he be as a professional quarterback?
Well, I think it says a lot of when they inserted him into the lineup as early as they did. He's a guy that showed a lot of promise in the preseason. He's a 6'6" guy. His release point is probably like 8 feet. I don't know. He has no problems in the pocket. He's Ken Wisenhunt type of quarterback that stands in the pocket like a Phillip Rivers-esque type of quarterback. And when Jake got hurt, I think they wanted to really get a good evaluation of Mettenberger early on. So when teams were rested guys, playoffs, or were out of the playoffs, they would get a better evaluation of Dak with these types of games. Open up in Baltimore, it's Houston, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and now Philly. You're getting all these guys in 100% of their teams. So the evaluation is true, and he's improved. He really has. He's made some mistakes, and each week that I've watched him, I've seen him get better at the things that he's doing wrong. No one plays a perfect game, but I think he was holding the ball too long. There were some sacks. He wasn't hitting check down as fast, getting to his check down, getting through his progressions quick enough. He wasn't climbing the pocket with his quick twitch muscles like he should. And I think especially on Monday night, against a pretty decent front from the Steelers, a lot of blitzing, that he did a much better job. He's improving every week, but by no means is he a finished product, but you can definitely see the talent is there. And now it's just about getting the reps and seeing all the looks. And, I think this evaluation is going to continue in a very tough place on Monday.
And Ken Wisenhunt is in his first year as a Tennessee Titans head coach, and he has a pretty impressive coaching resume, Frank. He was with the Steelers, and he took the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. What do you think of the job that he has done in year one down there in Nashville?
I think he's done a decent job. I think he's a strictly business type of guy, and he expects certain things. I mean, they switched both systems. He's basically put in his own program, if you will. Kind of finally, there's like no one left from the back in my day, I guess, if you will. But he's trying to establish his own ways and doing things the right way. I think the team has struggled because of the system changes. It takes a long time. The quarterback inconsistency, and defensively going to a 4-3 to a 3-4. That's a big change when you don't have the exact personnel to fit that defense. But they are improving. They're getting better. They just haven't been able to put a full game together, I guess, in Kansas City.
And we know Wisenhunt has the background, as we're talking to Frank Wycheck, color analyst for the Tennessee Titans radio. As Chase said, he got that Arizona team to a Super Bowl, and if it wasn't for a great catch by Santonio Holmes, he'll have a Super Bowl ring on his finger as a head coach. And you really don't judge a head coach, for me, until that second, later part of year two and really year three, when they're taking over and implementing that new system. But just taking a look down the road, do you think they'll explore a quarterback option in the draft, or is Mettenberg's Wisenhunt's guy?
Well, I think it's still going on. I really do. We're still, it's like we're watching Real World, Nashville. We're watching to see what Mettenberger is going to do from week to week, and this is why they put him in there, as I said. And I don't think any decisions are going to be made. I mean, I think if Zach, I think right now he still improves the way he has been. I think he's got a really good chance to be the guy and to go put weapons around him as coach sees fit. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see if he regresses. If he has, the good sign is that he's a cool cat. He threw a pick 6 in the first series of the game on Monday night. Didn't let it bother him, and came back the next series, led him to a touchdown. So to me, he's got the cool customer aspect of it. Now it's the progressions and everything else, seeing things and getting better. And I don't think Wisenhunt's the type of guy that would let a goofball take over his team. I think Zach's a serious guy. He's a competitor, and we'll see. But so far, so good, I think, for the young guy. And don't forget, it's only going to be his 4th start. But I believe he's got the goods.
Let's get to the Eagles' offense. A few weeks ago, they beat Carolina. Mark Sanchez was at Pat's and Gino's late into the night, partying up with the fans. Then they go to Green Bay, and the defense really gave them nothing. Couldn't put the offense in a good position. And you know how these Philadelphia fans go up and down on their quarterback. Mark Sanchez is a guy, he's won playoff games in the past up against 2 great quarterbacks in Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in their house. And then at the end of his stint with New York, he had the butt fumble, had a lot of turnovers. What Mark Sanchez do you think we'll see this week up against the Tennessee Titans?
I don't know. I like Sanchez. I thought what he did early on in his career, they didn't put everything on him. It's almost like they treated him like they did from my early years with McNair. They were a defensive-minded team. They didn't ask him to do too much. They handed the ball off a lot, and they were successful. And then when they started putting more and more on him, that's where I thought he struggled. And in this offense, even though he loosened up, in that spot last week where he had some pressure, I don't know if he responded the way Chip Kelly and the fans wanted him to. And that's what I think leaves some question marks out there for Mark Sanchez in that big spot. Can he take the game over himself? Can he win the game himself? Not literally win the game himself, but you know what I'm saying? Just like, can he take it over? Because that offense is all predicated around the quarterback. He's going to have to play big in situations. So they'll see a lot from Ray Horton in this defense. They got after Roethlisberger. They put him on the ground 5 times. And Sanchez is really going to have to prepare for a lot of different looks this week.
Lastly, from me, Frank, this is a Titans team that has struggled up against the run at times this year, and Le'Veon Bell ran for 204 yards on 33 carries on Monday night. LaShawn McCoy has had somewhat of an off year compared to what he did last year. I imagine the Titans are really emphasizing on stopping the run because that's where this offense, this Eagles offense, kind of revolves around as a run game.
Yeah, I mean, McCoy is just he's an unbelievable back. And if I was watching the tape, I would hand it off 30 times too. I mean, that's how the Titans get in trouble. And that's where the Titans, I think, got back in the game when Todd Haley stopped handing the ball off and started throwing a lot. And the Titans were able to blitz Roethlisberger, mix some coverage in there. But, yeah, I would think that it was embarrassing when you watch that tape. It's a short week. You got to get it out of your mind. But I would think the Titans are preparing for Shady McCoy 20, 30 times in this game. I don't think that that's going to be a secret. So it's just got to be up to them whether they win the one-on-one battle and really stop him in the backfield before he can get going. I would think that's preparing for.
You also got to watch out for Darren Sproles as he's the Energizer Bunny for this Eagles offense this year. Frank Wycheck, before we let you go, you're coming back to Philadelphia. You'll be here Saturday. Where are you getting your cheesesteak? Where are you stopping off to get a nice bite to eat?
Oh, man. It's got to be in the Northeast, of course. I went to Archbishop Ryan, played at Our Lady of Calvary on my youth football. So I'm going to go, I believe, Steve's Steaks up there right off the boulevard.
Well, we always have the debate about cheesesteaks. I'm a Mama's guy. I really like this place, Mama's in Bala Cynwyd. But wherever you go to get a cheesesteak, you can't get a bad cheesesteak here in Philadelphia. And I'm sure you get a whole bunch this weekend, as will we and all the fans that are heading to the game. So, Frank, we appreciate a few minutes today. This was fun, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
There's Frank Wycheck joining us on the hotline. Okay, we'll take our final break of the day, and we'll be back right after these short messages.